My experience with UFC, well, it's big, it's huge. I think it's like 100 times bigger than Strikeforce. It's K1 is big, but it's even a lot bigger than K1. So I was yeah, a little bit blown away, still am, with all the fans, and when you walk in there, it's just crazy. But I love it, every second of it.
This is for Alistair. Were you surprised that he wasn't more aggressive with his wrestling, since that's, you know, pretty much was his big, one big shot at beating you, was it in his wrestling game, you kind of didn't really go for it that much?
Well, he haven't fought in a long time, so I think he in the meantime, he upgraded his game, and that is what every fighter should do. You need to upgrade your game, and he was getting a little bit unpredictable, only going for the takedown. So he upgraded his game. I was like I said, ready for whatever he was going to throw at me. If he was going to throw strikes, I'd be ready for it. If he would come for the takedown, I'd be ready for it.
Alistair, do you think? Sorry, over here to your left. Do you think that you answered the questions of all your critics who may have said that you weren't facing top competition outside the UFC tonight? Are you satisfied with answering those questions?
I'm satisfied. Pretty satisfied.
I noticed Colin Lamb has no bruises on him. Did you forgive him for messing up all of those tests that well, drama, pre-fight drama you had to go through?
I think, you know, Colin has done a great job for me, and the rest of the team, by the way. They're really. I had a lot of setbacks in the last 3-4 months, a lot of setbacks, but the team came together greatly, and no, I can forgive him that little slip up, because he supported me in other ways greatly.
Alistair, over here. Did you have any UFC octagon jitters? Everybody kind of always talks about that, like their first fight, usually whenever they're first fight in the UFC.
Well, I can only say I was very motivated. I just wanted to get in there and show everybody, and I mean everybody was watching, the whole world. I got emails, messages, Facebooks, Twitters from all over the world, and I just wanted to show the world that I'm ready.
When you were in the first round, did you get the sense at all that Brock was timid when dealing with any of your strikes?
After one knee, yes.
Alistair, obviously you finished him with kind of the liver kick like you said you predicted, but I think you just mentioned, you said you could feel him not react well to your knees the first time you threw onto his body. Can you just talk about how could you tell he wasn't responding well to that?
Because after that he didn't come for the takedown as he would. After that we would come in the clinch and he would disengage. And usually Brock is a guy that just comes straight through your forward, but he was not doing that. So then I knew the knees bother.
Also wanted to ask you, leading up to this fight, you said you were a big Brock fan. You always got up and watched his fights. Obviously afterwards he announced his retirement. I saw you say something to him, but what did you say to him, and what are your thoughts on him walking away from MMA?
Well, my thoughts on him walking away, I think he shouldn't walk away, because love him or hate him, but it's always something when Brock's fighting, like Dana said. And I mean, he's a guy who goes for it. I think he achieved a lot in a short span, and yeah, it should be a shame if he stops now. I think there's still more to gain for him.
Well, you said earlier that you told your fiance that. Was there something that you saw on tape that you felt like you could take advantage of when you made the comment about you called your shots, so to speak?
It just came up to me. It's weird, I know. I'm not usually the guy who believes in aliens and UFOs, but or superstitious stuff. But I just say, tomorrow I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. The first thing being a liver kick, and just turned out that way.
It appears as though you weren't too afraid of the stand-up game. How long did it take for you guys into the fight where you realized that you had a real superior advantage?
Well, the thing is, Brock actually cut me with his first jab. So that was a little bit, I had blood coming in my eye, I couldn't see in my right eye. So I had to adjust a little bit, but that also made me put more pressure, because I didn't know how severe the cut was. I didn't know maybe there's going to be medical intervention. So then I knew I need to finish this fight before we get there, and that's made me step my game up.
Did he hurt you at any point in the fight?
Well, like I said, he threw a first jab and he cut me, and I felt drops of blood in my eye. And then like 10 seconds later, I couldn't see from my right eye, and then I knew, oh, I'm cut. So I gotta take it easy and not get some more shots. But other than that, he didn't hurt me.
It seemed like when people were talking about this fight, a lot of people thought that if you could stuff his early shots, that he would get frazzled, and really sort of, you know, that would be your opening to do what you wanted. Was that your take on the fight as well? If you could stop his early onslaught, that it would be your fight to lose?
Well, the thing is, I didn't know what he was going to do. You know, usually Brock always comes in full force and he rushes. But you always, you know, like I didn't watch any tapes of him prior to the fight because I didn't want to have my mindset that he's going to come like a bull. And he didn't, so...
And just looking ahead to the Dos Santos fight, obviously you said you had stitches, but overall, I mean, in a perfect world, when would you like this fight to happen?
Well, first I'd like to have a nice long holiday and arrange some stuff, get my stuff in order, because there's still some work to do. And I don't know, maybe before the summer or in the summer, 2012.
And finally, you've said before that he's one of, if not the best boxers in the heavyweight division. Obviously, you pride yourself on your striking and your kickboxing background. Is this a dream matchup for you to go against the guy who you consider to be the best boxer, and then you can thus prove once and for all that you are the best heavyweight striker in the world?
I think for everybody. I think everybody's excited for this fight, and so am I.
Do you think that there's something special about Dutch fighters and Dutch preparation for fighting that maybe we don't see enough of in the UFC right now, and that you could especially bring to it?
Well, I think I'm kind of unique because there's not a lot of, there's not like 20 Alistairs working around in Holland. But what Holland is known for is the kickboxing, the striking, the stand-up. But then still, in Holland we don't have the wrestling. Unfortunately enough, I was very young when I started to do both. I was 15 when my brother took me to the gym. And I didn't like it at all because I got beat up. I was small, weak, no technique. But yeah, I just hung in there and kept doing it. And now we're 16 years later and now I can do both.
Alistair, I know it's very late in Europe, but given the situation with your mom, did you have a chance to talk to her at all today to kind of, you know, wish her well and to discuss your fight at all?
Well, we texted earlier, but yeah, I think my mother's sleeping now. She doesn't watch the fights live. She's too nervous for that. But I'm sure she heard by now, and I'll call her after. I was too busy getting ready and interviews and getting stitched up.
Take one more question.
Alistair, as far as I mean, I know you don't want to talk about the legal thing itself, but as far as that all coming down, like in the last week when you were, you know, in your final days right before the fight, did it bother you at all, or did you just shut it out because you knew you could be distracted?
I don't know. Like I said, I have a wonderful team that supports me, and that has supported me greatly through these times, and that just kept the focus on what was important, and that was just focus on just relaxing, keeping the mind on the fight, and not think about these things.